going to show you today is a quick dynamic warm-up for a squat, activating the muscles that we're actually going to use in the squat, versus what we typically see people do, foam rolling and stretching, okay? Sometimes stretching isn't always what we need. More often than not, we tend to find that if we activate the muscles, activate the joints, we're going to have a more successful session. And taking longer to warm up to our heavier weights that we're going to be using, or the working weights it was, versus actively stretching and mobilising with foam rollers, etc. So what I'm going to show you is a few activation drills I use with clients, starting with side plank. Okay, so if you're squatting, I'm going to be using the side plank. I'm going to be doing abductions because I want to be working both sides of the glutes. One's in an isometric hold, which is this side, I'm holding the position, and this side is passively moving, okay? I'll do this on obviously both legs. I'll then go into single leg glute bridges. Again, around about 10, 12, maybe 15 reps, depending on how cold it is or how advanced the client is. Some people need longer passive warm-ups. Again, this dynamic movement here is a dead bug. I'm using this to engage the core, switch on the abs, switch on the hips, getting them into the correct position. Okay, again, 15, 20, 16 reps, whatever, does the job nicely. And then the last one I'm going to do is roll onto the front. I'm going to pop the hands under the hips, push my pelvis into the hands so that I'm in that anterior tilt. Okay. Just using the glute to drive the leg towards the ceiling. Again, same both sides. Quite common, you might find that one leg doesn't move as well off the floor as the other, but that's probably to do with part of the reason that we're actually doing this stuff is because everybody's pelvis is slightly different either side, which is why some people find it comfortable to have one foot slightly turned out than the other, or inwards, or whatever it might be. We don't have this perfect asymmetrical stance. So therefore, we are going to get different feedback from each leg when we're training or doing exercises, which is why some people feel like they're stronger on one side than the other, and that's because we do have more dominant side. That doesn't matter. What we need to be doing is making sure we're working both legs equally in our dynamic warm-ups, and making sure that we're challenging them both equally with the similar exercises. That's why I do both sides, side plank, glute bridges. On the front, going to hip extensions. Those exercises there, try them before you squat. Now, for a dynamic movement, we would go into hip swings. So we've done the activation work, going into hip swings. What I'm trying to do here is keep my core switched on. So using that dead bug movement where I'm pulling the ribs in, swinging through the hip. This is to get movement to the joint. Okay, I've also got frontal plane movement here, where I can challenge the leg that way as well. And then another one is just a basic body weighted squat. Finally, once I've done my activation work, move the hip through the joint, different range of movement. I'm just going to challenge it and see how the squat feels. I know I'm good. I'm using the muscles that I've just warmed up in my activation work, and I'm probably good to go. That's a nice little drill you can do. It takes a few minutes, but it's quicker and probably more effective than rolling out on the foam roller and doing loads of stuff, soft tissue work. Do the soft tissue work if you're in pain from a previous session, you've got a lot of DOMs going on, but the activation work and the dynamic movements are going to be more effective.